Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ibrahim Traoré's era. Today we talk about one of the most powerful chapters in Africa's modern story, a tale of courage, renewal, and a people rediscovering their strength. What is happening in Burkina Faso under Captain Ibrahim Traoré is shaking the pillars of neo-colonialism, and the world cannot look away. Across continents, Burkinabè sons and daughters who once fled for survival in Europe and America are now returning home. And this is a wave. More than 7,000 highly skilled Burkinabè professionals from Europe, America, Asia, and even fellow African states have already landed in Ouagadougou. Doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, scientists, nurses, IT experts, teachers, and business leaders are answering the call. Why? Because one man dared to remind them of the truth. If we do not build our homeland, no one else will. Captain Ibrahim Traoré called on them to bring their knowledge back to rebuild the motherland. And they listened. This is not migration. This is the reverse of the brain drain. For decades, Africa's brightest minds migrated to the West. Young men and women fleeing villages to cities, cities to Europe, only to end up trapped in foreign lands, underpaid and undervalued. But now, under Traoré's leadership, the tide has turned. They are leaving behind their salaries, cold apartments in Paris and London, and they are exchanging it for the red earth, the blazing sun, and the ancestral pride of Burkina Faso. Out of the 7,000 returnees, 120 doctors have already united to establish what will soon be West Africa's largest specialist hospital. Not another underfunded public clinic, no. A facility built to global standards, equipped with advanced diagnostic machines, world-class surgical theaters, intensive care units, and a rehabilitation wing. It will cover neurology, cardiology, pediatrics, and trauma, fields where Africans have long been forced to rely on Europe. Soon, instead of sending patients abroad, Burkina Faso will become a medical hub for the Sahel. Aminata Zongo, a neurologist who spent over a decade in France, left her thriving Parisian career behind. Her words were simple but powerful. My knowledge belongs here. My people need me here. Traoré gave us courage to return, and we will not fail. Alongside her, cardiologists, oncologists, and orthopedic surgeons are building departments the country has never seen before. Nurses trained in Canadian hospitals are now teaching Burkinabè youth, while pharmacists are setting up systems to produce and distribute medicine locally. But this change isn't only in medicine. President Traoré has done what most leaders fear. He has opened national resources directly to his own people. Free land has been allocated for farming, real estate, and industry. Both locals and returnees are receiving fertile hectares, tax relief, and access to state-backed farm tools. Picture this: thousands of acres of maize, millet, rice, and sorghum, cultivated not by foreign corporations, but by Burkinabè farmers, with profits flowing back into Burkinabè pockets. This is the seed of food sovereignty. Entrepreneurs are also rising. Tech innovators who once worked in Silicon Valley are building hubs in Ouagadougou, teaching children coding at just 10 years old. Fashion designers trained in Milan are opening schools blending Burkinabè fabric with global design. Former Microsoft and Google engineers are helping Traoré's government fortify digital systems and cyber defense. The diaspora is not just returning. They are reinventing Burkina Faso from the ground up. All this unfolds under one man's vision, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. At 36, he has shown courage rarely seen in African leadership. He understands what history has taught. Aid, loans, and so-called partnerships are weapons to weaken, not strengthen Africa. Instead, his policies are built on three foundations: self-reliance, sovereignty, and national pride. And his eyes are on the future. By 2029, he has promised elections, but he has vowed not to hand over a broken country. By that year, he wants a Burkina Faso that can compete with the best on the continent. Roads paved, farms feeding millions, hospitals treating patients at world standards, schools producing engineers and scientists, industries creating wealth for the people. Only then, he says, will democracy be real. Only then will elections be about progress, not survival. But make no mistake, the West is unsettled. Over 7,000 skilled Africans who once propped up their hospitals, labs, and companies are walking away to serve Burkina Faso. This is their nightmare. Africans no longer working for them, but for their homelands. And this is not just a Burkinabè story. It is Pan-African. Already, communities in Ghana, Mali, Senegal, and Nigeria are asking, if Burkina Faso can do it, why not us? That is the power of this revolution. It stretches beyond Ouagadougou and Bobo Dioulasso. It touches the entire continent. When Traore seized power in 2022, Burkina Faso was listed among the poorest in the world. Aid-dependent, loan-strangled, and resource-plundered. Gold, cotton, and livestock were under foreign hands. Roads crumbled, hospitals decayed. Industries were absent. Independence felt like a lie. But today the ground is shifting. Agriculture is the backbone of this rebirth. Diaspora returnees are joining locals on farms, introducing irrigation, drones, and modern storage. By 2024, the country produced 7 million tons of cereals in one season, a national record. The goal? By 2029, Burkina Faso must become the food hub of Africa. At the same time, real estate is rising, industries are taking shape, and technology hubs are training youth in robotics, coding, and AI. Factories now refine gold, process cotton, and package food for local and international markets. Solar parks are being built to power it all. But Traore also knows sovereignty must be defended. Since 2023, every Burkinabè aged 18 to 35 has undergone basic defense training. Villages now see themselves as armies of sovereignty. Communities are trained not just to defend themselves but to heal, organize, and resist foreign-backed terror. With support from Russia and China, modern weapons and drones now back the Burkinabè military. But Traore's message is clear. We will not trade our gold for guns. We will build both with our hands. The result? Villages that once fell silent from fear now sing Traore's name. Children cheer at the sight of soldiers. Farmers bring water and food to patrols. Burkina Faso is not just defending itself. It is rising as a fortress. By 2029, Traore promises to run elections. He aims to hand over a Burkinabè Faso that is rich and self-sufficient by then, where Burkinabè citizens can look proudly at their nation and say, "We built this with our own hands." Brothers and sisters, this is bigger than Burkina Faso. Traore is proving that Africa already has what it needs in its land, in its people, and in its diaspora. If a landlocked nation once called the poorest can rise, then every African country can rise. Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Kenya, South Africa, all of us. Today, 7,000 returnees are building hospitals, factories, farms, and schools. Soldiers are training. Roads are being paved. A nation is being reborn. This is no dream. This is reality. The fire has been lit. The people have embraced it. And the diaspora is fanning it into a flame no foreign hand can put out. So I ask you, Africa, if Burkina Faso can do it, what excuse do we have? This is Ibrahim Traoré's era. And this, my friends, is the story of a nation reborn.